I said, I'm Megan Bellows, and I'm going to give you a little overview into the Acumatica CRM module. Today, we're going to look at lead entry and management, managing marketing campaigns and lists, sales opportunity tracking, and then we're going to also look at quotes and sales orders coming from those opportunities. And then we're also going to see customer portal. And like she said at the end, we'll take any questions that anybody has. All right, so we're going to go into Acumatica website here. So Acumatica offers a fully integrated customer relationship management module, and the CRM includes classification and assignment of leads and contacts, management of marketing campaigns, forecasting using sales opportunities, and activity tracking within all of the different transactions and profiles. Acumatica also has a case management module that's used for handling customer service and support. I'm not going to actually show that today, but I just kind of want to touch on where that is included in the CRM module. So you can see I'm currently logged in up here as the admin. So I'm logged in as a super user, so to speak. Acumatica being role-based would allow users only to have access to the screens and menu options based on their role in the company. So here we see a dashboard. This is the CRM flow dashboard. And there are various other dashboards that we'll see going through this that are included with the Acumatica instance. This one, like I said, is a flow, so it's more of a visual representation of how the data moves through the CRM module. So you can see it all starts here with leads, and then those can be converted to contacts or business accounts. And then the business accounts and contacts also interact with the opportunities and the case support within the system. And so the leads are records that kick off everything, and those can be entered in Acumatica in various ways. We're going to look at the Outlook add-in option today. You can also import lists of leads. They can be entered through the mobile application. They can come in from your website, and you can also manually enter within the lead screen. So like I said, we're going to look at the Outlook add-in today. Most of your salespeople are going to live in their email inbox. So Acumatica created an add-in for Outlook, and this works with an Office 365 account or an Exchange email account that is managed in Outlook. And using the add-in, you can also view CRM records without actually being logged into the Acumatica site. You can also create new leads, contacts, opportunities, and cases. So I'm going to flip over to my email here. And I see that I have an email from Jeff White, who's somebody I don't recognize. It's a new contact or lead that I want to pull into the system. So if I highlight the email and I click on the Acumatica icon here at the top, that's going to launch my add-in. And then I have some options as to what I can do with this new information. So it's going to recognize that I don't have a contact or a lead in the system that is associated with this email address. So those are my options to start out with. So if I click on Create Lead, it's going to give me some other information that I can fill in if I know it. I see that his company is White and Sons, so I can put that in. You can enter a source of where this lead came from. And then I will hit Create Lead. So if we go back to Acumatica, I'm going to load the salesperson dashboard. So this is going to give me all information that is associated with my user. I can see new leads, I can see my opportunities, I can follow up on things using the widgets within the dashboard. So here, if I click into my new leads, I can see all of the new leads that are associated with my user. And here is our new Jeff White lead in here that we can see. And I can also, from the Outlook add-in, I can also add this email as an activity on that lead. So we'll take a look at activities on these screens. It's included on most CRM screens where you can log any type of contact you have with that, associated with that transaction as an activity. So if I hit log activity, it's going to attach it to my lead, and I hit create. It's also going to use the subject from our email. So now if I click back, and we're going to go ahead and load this Jeff White lead and take a closer look at what's included there. We can use what's called a side panel. So anytime you're in a list of records, like this one called an inquiry, we can add a side panel which gives you a snapshot of the details of that lead. So here we're highlighted on the Jeff White lead, so we see all the details here. It's automatically assigned that lead to me because I added it through the Outlook add-in. We can add phone number, we can add address information. We scroll down, we can also, again, add that source. Maybe we didn't know at the time, but he actually told us he was referred by somebody else. We can add that information here and save without having to navigate away from our list of leads. And if we look at the activities tab, that's where we're going to see that email that we just added as an activity, and we can actually drill in and see the details of that email. And anyone else who has access to this lead can also see all of that information. And these activities, as you can see up here on the toolbar, can be a task assigned to someone, it can be an event, an email, and you also have a drop-down list of other activities, and these are all configurable. So you can add your own as you need. Whatever you would like to document and track in the system, you can include as an activity. All right, so that's leads. Now we're going to take a look at marketing lists and campaigns. So to start it off, we're going to look at the lists. And the marketing list is a saved list of recipients that is used during the marketing campaigns and also can be used for mass emails. These lists can be dynamic, where they're based on selection criteria, or they can be self-managed. So if we look at the selection criteria here, you can see this one has this criteria that will only give us the list of emails for leads within the last month. So this is going to change as time goes on. The self-managed list is a static list where you need to go in and change it manually when you want to add or delete people. So if we flip over to list members, we're going to see that our new Jeff White is now included because he was created in the last 30 days. And so he would be included in any correspondence based on this marketing list. All right, so the next topic in marketing are mass emails. You can use mass emails to communicate with marketing lists that we just saw. So if we take a look at this one that's set up in here, we can set different sources to be used for these emails, like we talked about, marketing lists, campaigns, and you can also just choose all of your leads, all of your contacts, if that's who you need to add there. You can set a plan date, the status, whether it's on hold or whether it's prepared and ready to go, or it will change to sent once you have sent out the email. You include the body, which can include fields from Acumatica. So you can see display name, it's going to fill in that specific information based on each email address. And then the marketing list is going to show you, okay, we're using the new leads marketing list to send this mass email. And then you have the capability, once you have it all set up, to test the message, and then you would hit send to send it out to all the recipients. Additionally, you can set up marketing campaigns. So we're going to take a look at this upgrade campaign. Within the campaign, you can see you can set campaign classes, and each campaign class can have a list of attributes that you can use for more detailed reporting. So it's a list of additional information that you want to track based on which class the campaign is in. The stage, again, just lets you know if it's active, if you're still setting it up and planning it, or if it's been completed. Down here on the campaign details, you can enter budgets, you can enter expected returns, you can associate a promo code to your campaign. And then on the right, you're going to see actual statistics from this campaign. So it's going to show you how many people you originally sent this to, if any leads have been generated, opportunities that are linked to it, and then won opportunities that are linked, in addition to dollar amounts associated with those opportunities. So you can track how your campaign is affecting your business. If we flip over to the Members tab, here you can manage the list for the campaigns. Obviously, we've seen the setup of marketing lists, so that can be used. You can set it up manually by just adding members. And you have this capability to add new members. This is where you could use an actual report where it's a defined list based on criteria, or a marketing list within the screen. You have some different options to load a long list of emails at one time. And then we saw the metrics on the first screen, but here we see an actual list of the leads, and you can drill into those that were created based on this campaign, as well as opportunities. Same thing, you can drill down and see what those were that were associated with that campaign. So that kind of leads us into opportunities. I'm going to flip back to Outlook. So we're going to create an opportunity from Outlook. So in this situation, this first email is a contact that I know exists. It's a company we sell to, but he would like a quote based on my upgrade campaign for some new laptops. So if I, again, click on my Acumatica add-in at the top, it's going to load that. Like I said before, it's recognizing that he exists. It even pulls in the contact name at the top. So now I have different options down here. I have create a case, create an opportunity. Again, these view options will actually load a pop-up window from Acumatica. But for this one, I'm going to create an opportunity. So it's going to, again, pull in my subject. It's going to default to the stage, which we'll look at that in a minute. You can enter an amount if you know approximately how much this opportunity is going to be worth, or you can leave it blank and just take what it gives you and create opportunity. Okay, so that will now be in our Acumatica webpage. So if I look down here on my dashboard, I also have my opportunities, and I can drill into that list. Okay, I think it's not linked to me yet, so we'll do that. So here's my new quote for new laptops from Mike. We will open that up here. And I can assign myself as the owner. Okay, so within the opportunity, you can add items that are going to be quoted. And then you can actually create the quote from the opportunity. So they're all linked and it's all manageable within the same module. So I've assigned it to myself. I'm going to switch it to open as I'm now interacting with my customer and updating information within this opportunity. And if I flip over to document details, I can add an item here. And he wanted 3 laptops. And I can decide to give him a 20% discount. And I can enter all of that in here. Also on the details, so we said that he had contacted us for this quote based on our marketing campaign of upgrade. So I'm going to add that source campaign, and that's what's going to link it to include it in the metrics on the marketing campaign. All right, and I'm also up here going to take a look at stages. So we're going to change this to proof since we're already to the point of sending them a quote. So as your sales reps work to make the sale, they can use these stages to reflect the likelihood they will win the opportunity. So the settings of the stages is also linked to a percentage of closing that opportunity. And the stages are fully configurable and can be used with this opportunity total to report on forecasting for sales. So if we take a quick look at this opportunity summary report, you can see that this is broken out by opportunity class. So you could have different groups of opportunities. And then it's also broken out across the top by stage. So with this pivot table, we can see, okay, how many of my product sales opportunities are in the negotiation stage and what's the value of those? So you can manage that forecasting. All right, back to the opportunity. So we have our items entered that we want to quote them, and we can go up here and create a quote. So it's going to give you some different options we can create and review, and that allows us to see that quote and make any necessary changes before we send it. So within the quote, it's going to fill in some of the information. We can set an expiration date. So maybe we want 30 days. And then we can see that our discount and everything that we've entered on the opportunity transfers over. And then when we have everything correct, we're going to hit submit quote. So that tells the system that this quote is out to a customer and no changes can be made to it until you come back in and edit it. So right now it's prepared status. Once I have submitted it, then I can send it to my customer, or my contact is who it's going to. And that's going to email. That's also going to include that quote email as an activity on the sales quote. So here we see the quote that I just sent. It has the attachment and everything. So if you needed to resend it, you could do that straight from here. And it's going to change the status of my quote here to sent. So you submit it to your customer, and then they may come back and say, well, I have a better price from another vendor. What can you do for me? So you can come back into the same quote and hit edit, and that's going to revert it back to a draft. Maybe we're on a different day, so we want a different expiration date. We can do that as well, 28th. And so we're going to go ahead and update this discount to a 25% discount. And that's going to adjust our pricing accordingly. And then we'll submit again and email that second revision out to the customer. So now, although my details shows my most recent update, I can see on my activity screen that I have record of the different revisions of quotes that I've sent to this customer over time. So now he has accepted the quote. Let's go back to the opportunity. And so we can, I'm not going to show it today, but you can add multiple items and create separate quotes. So if we notice on this quote screen, we only have one now, but you could have multiple quotes from any given opportunity. So maybe you're selling things as groups at different times, but they could all be linked to this one opportunity, some project that your customer is doing maybe. Okay, but we're going to say that the customer says, okay, let's go, let's order these laptops. So we can change our status up here. Okay, we've won this opportunity. We're going to change our stage as well and save that. And then up here under actions, we can create a sales order directly from our opportunity. So again, it's going to give you some options. We hit OK. that will automatically create a sales order that can be sent through the shipment process, just like a sales order that would come in from any other avenue. All right, it's going to show us that. Okay, so here's our sales order that was created to the customer for the 3 laptops. And it does include our discounted pricing, just like we did before. So we can save that. And then, like I said, that would be processed through regular channels. All right. So that is the opportunity management using the quoting and then eventually creating a sales order from that opportunity. All right. The last thing I'm going to show you is customer portal. So I'm going to flip over to that here. So your customer would log in just like you do, but they see a different site. The portal and the main Acumatica site are linked to the same database, but they share information, but they have different views. So I'm going to log in as my customer contact, Sam Malone, and put in his password. And so customer portal is a part of CRM. And the customer logs in, they only see their information, including invoices and statements. They can also place orders based on their own specific pricing, and they can also enter the support request for the case in the case management. I'm going to show you a few of these options within the portal. If we click onto My Documents, this is where the customer can see all of their invoices, payments, prepayments on their account. This is everything. They also have a tab here where they can just see the open documents. So maybe they don't have a record of this AR invoice 7250 and they want to take a look at it and print a new one out. They can drill into that, print out a new invoice. They don't ever have to call you and say, I'm missing this, or they don't ever know they have a missing invoice until they come in here and see, oh, there's an open invoice that I don't have record of. So it lets them sort of self-manage. We'll go back and see. They can also take a look at the item catalog. Now you have configurations that will manage what they can see, which warehouses, if they can see availability or not, is all an option on the setup. So they're going to see all items. Here they can choose to see only available items, but it is going to have their customer pricing based on Acumatica setup. And it will also, any sales pricing that's entered in the system. So if this customer orders 3, we'll see that they actually get a price break. So there's a sales quantity break in the system, and that will update the same in the portal as you see in a sales order. So I'm going to check that. They can also drill into these items and see more information. And so with item setup, you can add a more detailed description than just the item ID description. And that will show here, as well as pictures and any attributes that are associated. And from this screen, they can actually enter quantity and add it to the cart. They can add as many items as they'd like. And then when they're finished, they can open the cart and process that. So here they see the items they're going to order, proceed to checkout. They can verify information. They can edit the address and information. They can pick a specific ship via and then continue. And that's the description of their order, and hit submit order. And they'll see a sales order confirmation that they can print for their records. And then if we come back into Acumatica as our admin user and take a look at sales orders, we're going to see that that order is instantly in the system. So they can go on late at night. They don't need to talk to anybody. They don't have to wait for you to get their email. They can just go in and place this order, and the next morning it's ready for processing. If we drill in, we'll also see that we can add a description for the order that tells us that this came from the portal and which contact was logged in. that submitted it. So we have some information as to where that came from. All right, so that's the basics of Customer Portal. As you can see, Acumatica CRM is an easily configurable solution that can fit to your company's changing needs and business environment. CRM will help your company more effectively handle lead management, sales opportunities and quotes, marketing campaigns, and customer service. That's all I have today. Thank you for joining us for the webinar, and if we have any questions, we'll go ahead and take those now.
Okay, so first question is, can you have more than one item on a quote, or do you have to make a separate quote for each item?
You can have more than one item. And you, like I said, you can actually have, you can have a whole list of items and you can include them on multiple quotes as well if you need to. But no, you could put as many items as you want on that quote.
And Kevin, I don't even know if I could repeat this question. It's very technical. It's about Office 365 and some connections. I might have to submit this. It does not require a static IP. There are some different layers that we could put in, but why don't we talk a little bit more about that later this afternoon on our call. Does a SaaS offer include a static IP? No, but you could do a secure socket layer, and you might be getting a little bit more technical over my head. So I will make sure I understand, and we will get you answers later. Anybody else have any questions? He likes to throw curveballs at me. Okay, Edward, are there any automation links that can bring the new lead information in without having to manually input it, like Zapier? If I said that right. I know you can import the files, and so there are, actually I saw a demonstration yesterday where HubSpot can bring the leads in automatically. So as long as Zapier has an API and the means to be able to make the connections, then I would say yes, because as I said, I saw it all nicely done with HubSpot yesterday. So there are a few companies out there that does connect with Acumatica. Because it is in the cloud, it has a lot of well built out APIs and a lot of import scenarios as well. If we just get a file, let's say we go to a trade show and we get a file and we want to import it, easy peasy. It's all right there on the screen, so able to import that without any problems. Any other questions that we have today? Otherwise, if you guys can give me any feedback on any topics that you want to see, we would love to keep your interest. We have done webinars on in the past on why Acumatica. So it was an overview of the what kind of things are changing in the industry and shifting to Acumatica in you know, as a cloud-based program. Some of the cost and just kind of reviewing that with you. We also talked about what Acumatica, the benefits of Acumatica over Activate, which is a pretty important topic since all of you that are on the call are some of our Activate users. We did a webinar on inventory management in Acumatica, and we did a webinar on sales order processing. So if any of you did not see those webinars and you want to go back and find them, you know how to reach me. I'll certainly help you get to them. Otherwise, we're looking for any suggestions on any other webinars that you guys want to see. We appreciate your time and have a great day.